Hello, today we are going to be learning all about the percent equation. Last time we learned about the percent proportion, and this equation is just derived from that proportion. So in the end, our equation is going to be the part is equal to the percent in either fraction or decimal form, I prefer decimal, times the whole. So I'm going to show you how we got that from the proportion. Here's our proportion. Okay, the part over the whole equals the percent over the 100. So all we need to do is solve for a to get this percent equation. And we do that by multiplying by w on both sides. And once we do that, we have just an a left over on the one side. So we end up with a equals the percent times the whole. So you can write it this way, or you can just write it as a P and know that it needs to be in decimal form when we use it. This is the equation we'll be using for the entire lesson today. Let's move on. So there are some steps that you need to take to use this equation. First step is write out the equation A equals PW. Then you decide which parts you know and what you're looking for. Plug in the known factors, solve for the unknown, and check to make sure that it is reasonable. Reasonability is really important in this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and try one with a problem. So we need to find the part in this case. It asks, what is the number 24% of 50? What number is 24% of 50? So we start by writing out the equation. We already know that one. We find our knowns. We know that the percent is 24%, and written in decimal form, it is 0.24. We know the whole is 50, and we do not know the a, so we'll just put a little question mark there, or the part, we don't know it. Okay, so plug it in. The part equals 0.24 times 50. Solve, and we end up with the part is 12. Is it reasonable? Yeah, it should be a little less than 12.5 because we know 12.5 is 25% of 50. So yeah, that makes sense. One really important thing to remember is that you have to convert that percent into either a decimal or a fraction for this to work. Let's move on. You can try one on your own. So go ahead, pause the video here and try this one on your own. Now let's check your work. I want you to go ahead and pause the video and make sure that you had all of these steps written down. All right, we're going to move on. This time, we're going to be finding the percent. So same steps as before. First step, write the equation. Second, what are my knowns? Well, I know I have the part, which is A. Here's my part because it says is. So it's 9.5. I put it there. I don't know my percent, so question mark. And I know my whole. Here's the 25 as a whole because it says of 25. So let's plug that in. And then I'm going to have to solve it. Now this one is a little trickier because I actually have to do some real solving, right? I'm going to need to divide by 25 on both sides. And I end up with 0.038. Am I done there? No, because it asks for the percent. So I need to transfer that or convert it into a percent. And then I look at it. Is it reasonable? Yeah, this is reasonable. All right, let's move on. You try one on your own. So pause the video and try it yourself. All right, here's the answer. Please pause the video again and check to make sure all of your work is there. And then we'll move on. All right, last one is finding the whole. This is the last thing we need to learn is how to find that whole. If we have 39 is 52% of what number? We write the equation. We put in our knowns. We know that we have 0.52 for the percent. Remember, I convert that to decimals. I don't know the whole, so a question mark, and I know the part is 39. Now, if I look at this, I can kind of estimate, well, 50%, that's about half, so 39 is about 40, so I know that the number is probably going to be less than 80, right? Let's move on. Plug it in and solve it. This time I will be dividing by 0.52 on both sides, and I end up with W is 75. Is that just under 80? Why, yes it is, so it is reasonable. So let's go ahead and try one of these on your own. Pause the video here and try it on your own. And here is the work. Go ahead and pause the video again and check your work to make sure it's all there. And if you were able to do all of this, that's awesome, and you are ready for your assignment. Thank you. Goodbye.